In the Karate Kid timeline, this follows the events of Cobra Kai, but if you've never seen Cobra Kai, don't worry. You don't need any information going into this movie. I've never seen an episode of Cobra Kai, and I understood everything that was happening in this film. Some cursory knowledge, maybe of the original film or two, would be helpful, but let's talk about Karate Kid Legends. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my movie review for Karate Kid Legends. This sort of bridges the gap between all of the films that came before, because you have Jackie Chan from the Jaden Smith version about 15 years ago. You have Ralph Macchio, who of course has been playing Daniel on and off for 40 years. And then you have newcomer Ben Wang, who is by far the main focus of this film. There's a good hour where Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio are not even in the movie. So we'll talk about how that maybe affects it positively and negatively as we go on here. But first, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're a Dan Reviews It subscriber already, thank you so much for that. Love it when you guys return and check out my videos. But if you're not, please consider subscribing and click the notification bell. And if you could just like this video or comment below, that stuff, of course, helps the channel out tremendously as well. All right, so let's talk Karate Kid Legends. I've never seen Cobra Kai, so I was like, I hope there's not a lot of Cobra Kai references. There are not. And really, I've only seen the first two in the series. I've seen the original maybe three times, at least twice. I saw the second one time almost 40 years ago, when it first came out on VHS or whatever. I never saw any of the other films in the Mr. Miyagi version. I didn't see the Hilary Swank one. But I did watch the Jaden Smith one, so I knew about the Jackie Chan character. But really, they catch you up very, very well, even if you've never even heard of Karate Kid and the movies and everything. They catch you up very, very quickly, because we see a little flashback up front with what's going on, Mr. Miyagi and Daniel, and then we see Jackie Chan for a second, and he is the great uncle, or yeah, something like that, he's the great uncle of the Ben Wang character, who is Li Fong, sort of the new version of Daniel, if you will. And we find out early on that his mother, played by the great Ming Na Wen, is getting a new job in New York, so she's going to move her and Lee to the Big Apple, to America, and he is, a fish out of water, and he's got to sort of get acclimated. It does not go very well for him, but there's a local pizza joint that he goes to and meets this lovely young woman played by Sadie Stanley, who I know as Bria B from The Goldberg. She was on several seasons of that as Adam's girlfriend, and then her dad, who owns the pizza joint, played by Joshua Jackson. And that really rounds out, kind of the main cast here. But for a good hour of the movie, we're focusing on Li Fong's journey and his struggle, and really a lot of it is a retread of some of the other movies in the franchise, because you have this, fish out of water, and he's, trying to assimilate and trying to get this girl that he likes. And, Daniel went through that 40 years ago, and Jaden Smith went through it, whatever his character was called, about 15 years ago. Now, this does put a little bit of a twist on the themes of, the older sensei helping out the young the young recruit into the world of kung fu and karate. And the reason for that is because this kid Lee has some training, and the Joshua Jackson character, well, he's in debt to all of these bad people, and so he wants to learn how to fight. So Lee ends up training him and working at the pizza shop, to get some extra money as a result. But thematically, this is really, pretty basic Karate Kid type stuff. We've got the montages, we've got the fish out of water story, we've got the girl that he wants to be with and impress. Oh, but she's, got some history with the local bad boy, and so we have that rearing its head again, and so it's very, very routine from what we've come to expect from this series. And then in the last, half hour or 40 minutes, then we finally get Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio on board. And there is a big tournament that Lee is going to compete in. And again, training montage. We've got, similar themes from the first series. And I assume a lot of what Cobra Kai is deals with that as well. I assume, Daniel is now the mentor, whatever. Again, I've never seen it, but just from what I understand about it, that tracks with this series. And so then they have the competition, and we're not going to do spoilers, but like it ends rather quickly. I found the wrap up very like rushed. And I thought, and the movie's not that long. I think it's what, an hour and like 37 minutes. They could have made it an hour and 45 and given us another like 7 minutes, 8 minutes of the tournament or time with, Daniel and Mr. Han, the Jackie Chan character. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, look, as basic as this story is, and even though it was no pun intended, but pulling no punches, and we kind of could see where it was going the whole time, it was still an enjoyable watch. Like I said this when I reviewed American Born Chinese on Disney Plus. Ben Wang has a really good screen presence. He's a cute kid, and he obviously knows martial arts. He put that to use in that show. He's putting that to use here. He could have some kind of a career ahead of him. And he's, got great chemistry with the young girl. And, it's all fine and good. But there was nothing surprising about this movie at all. I enjoyed watching it. And I'm not sure that this is what people want from a Karate Kid film, because obviously the poster has all three of them, Ralph Macchio, Jackie Chan, and Ben Wang, all on the poster. I thought they were going to have some equal time, or at least close to it, but really, for a good hour, they're just absent. And I don't know how that's going to affect longtime fans of the series. For me, it was enjoyable enough because I liked what was happening on screen, even if it held no intrigue for me whatsoever of what was going to happen with some of these characters. So look, I can only give this a fairly average grade, because on a basic level, it's a pretty average movie, but I did enjoy watching it. So there's something to be said for that as well. So I believe Karate Kid Legends with a C+. And if they are sort of gearing the Lee Fong character up for a new series of Karate Kid movies, maybe with or without some of the old guard, I would be okay for another installment at least to see where it goes. However, I think the box office returns were not great for this movie, so I'm not sure if we will be getting a second one, or if that was even, kind of in the works. But anyway, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It, and I will see you next time.